Hello, Professor Dorn. My name is Roshan Brown. I'm a senior civil engineering major from Vicksburg, Mississippi. Today I will be talking about whether parents should or shouldn't spank their children. I want to start off by saying parents do have the right to spank their children. It is a form of discipline and a form of punishment or a consequence to negative action by the child or negative behavior by the child. Parents probably whoop their children because their parents did it, so it's a way that they know. It is a learned trait or a learned habit or a learned form of punishment for their child. So parents do have the right, it's a common law right for their parent to spank their children. Also, parents should spank their children because that parent is responsible for that child's behavior, and that parent will be held accountable for anything that child does. For instance, if a child goes and breaks another person's property, that parent would be held responsible for that property. That parent would have to confiscate that other person for whatever property that's damaged. Another thing, if a child goes to school and then that child continues to get in trouble, the teacher would look at that parent and be like, you know, what's going on at home? You're not teaching your child this and that at home, but if a child's being spanked and is learning at home, then it'd probably be less of a problem at school. And so that parent would be the one looked at for their child's behavior. America's view on spanking. I recently found an article on New York Times about NFL running back Adrian Peterson, who was charged a felony for spanking his son. His son actually pushed the other son off the game, and Adrian Peterson was said to have gotten a switch with it, which the media called the tree branch, and spanked the child with it. After Adrian Peterson took the child back to the mother reported the whipping to the authorities, and Adrian Peterson was arrested and he was suspended from the league. So they actually took away his job and his livelihood and the way he provides for that child. They took that away from him because he disciplined his child. Also, Telegraph, which is a health news, says children are more successful when they're spanked by their parents. They're happier, they grow to be happier adults, and they're more successful as adults if they're spanked as a child. Me personally, I believe in that. I feel like if a child is spanked and disciplined as a minor, he will grow up to be more disciplined as opposed to someone who is not spanked. They'll probably be, they'll of course be less disciplined. They probably will react to situations differently. They'll probably be more stubborn, or they probably wouldn't handle rules better than someone who was spanked as a child. Abuse versus spanking. I feel like abuse has to do with someone's intention. Like once you go to spank your child, if you're spanking them because they did something bad, then your intention is just to discipline that child. But if you're just spanking your child because of something that's in your heart, anger, you was already mad and you're just spanking the child for something, and when they didn't do anything to get a spanking, then that's abuse. Intentions is something that can't really be measured, but again, I feel like abuse is a cycle, so it's something that you will continue to do, or if you will continue to do it. Abuse is a cycle, it's a repeated and continued act. I found a website called naturalchildren.org, and they had 10 reasons that you shouldn't spank your parents. Some I agree with and some I do not. For instance, hitting teaches hitting. Okay, if you're looking at it from a standpoint where if you're a parent or your parents spank you and then you spank your child, okay. But if you're saying it where as though you spank your child, that's gonna make that child a violent child, I don't agree with that. It says children are responding or acting out, or responding the only way they know how to certain situations. I do not believe in that. I feel like children are just being kids. They'll go to school, talk out of turn, and do stuff like that. They're not really just necessarily look for attention. They're just being kids. Number 3, distraction. It distracts the child from learning other ways to resolve conflict. Another one says it affects the parent and child's bond. I do not agree with that. Parents don't know other ways or other means of discipline. It builds anger. Another one says that spanking will build anger up in the child, which suggests that over time the child will have a grudge against the parent. Another one says it'll make the child have low self-esteem. Number 8 says it's physically dangerous. I mean, if you go overboard with the whipping, it could be, or the spanking, it could be. But again, intentions plays a major role in that. It's your intentions when you go in to spank that child. Another one says it'll make the child think hitting is an appropriate way to express their feelings. Alternative to whippings would be giving a child choices or options. Another one to put child in timeout or go to timeout yourself, which you will go calm down and then come back and try to find another solution. Teach the child what you would expect of them. Recognize the child's behavior. Maybe the child just continues to do it because that's the way they are, whatever it is that they're doing. Another one have other consequences, such as take the TV away from them, take the video game or their phone or something like that. Pick your battles. This means pick and choose when you spank your child, whereas though you set just 1, 2, 3 things, whereas though, or if you do this, you're going to get a spanking, whereas though if you do other things, you'll just have other consequences. Another one, just set limits. And last would be to state your request positively, like sit the child down, talk with them, and try to come up with a solution between you and the child. And that is all I have, and that is my perception on whether a child should or shouldn't be spanked.